Hello and welcome to the Bonehead Championship. I'm Ben from the Bonehead Podcast, and today we've got the Round 4 Match 2 preview between the two blue teams. We are looking at the Marienburg Minotaurs this weekend, a Nobility team, taking on what should be everybody's favourite team in this entire league, the Tootwald Tiny Titans, our Snotling team. So we are going to have a look at the rosters, we're going to have a look at the coaches, we're going to talk about the matchup, and then most importantly, we're going to have a look at your viewer championship. So team number 1 is the Minotaurs. So the Marienburg Minotaurs are sitting at 0-2-1. They've won no games, drawn 2, and have lost 1 game there. So they're kind of sitting middle of the pack. Now, the team we went with was the Ogre build. So did start out with a few less of the positionals than perhaps you'd want. However, it's starting to take shape now. So as we go into game 4, this team is sitting with the Ogre, Boney the Ogre. We've got Jules Ramey and Royce the Pomp, our 2 blitzers. We've now got 3 of the 4 bodyguards. So the team is on its way. We've got Podrick Payne, Angus von Muller, who does have a niggling injury, and Purple Pete, the new guy. So in this game, I haven't quite finished painting up this dude. So Purple Pete will be represented by a purple player from Ben's team, from Blood Tithe Ben. He's bringing his excellently painted Nobility team. So Purple Pete will be purple for this game. Maximilian Fancy, Hans von Swollen, Frank Farmer, and 1 other lineman are there. So this team is running 12 players and actually does have a bench. We've also got Ivan Volokov and Fitzmagic, 2 Nobility throwers. So this team's coming in at 1150 at the moment. So skills wise, we've got Ogre with guard, we've got blitzer with dodge, and we've got bodyguard also with guard. So as this team starts to take shape, they've got wrestle, they've got block, they've got combat skills. They don't have a huge amount of strength, and starting to add that guard into the mix really takes the combat potential of this team and makes it severe. With stand firm, with fend, you can kind of channel your opponents, and if you can channel them in a way to line up with your guard players, you're going to be making some very profitable blocks. So that's kind of how this team plays out in a straight matchup. However, they're going to be taking on Snotlings, so they are not necessarily going to need a ton of strength. But what we could see is Podrick Payne, that bodyguard, maneuver that guard ability to allow the Ogre to make profitable blocks on the trolls, on the pump wagon. And realistically, that guy can line up with 2 blitzers, 2 other bodyguards, or an Ogre, and just make a massive hit on Hackflem. Hackflem is this team's vulnerability. There's no tackle on this roster so far. Even though Royce the Pomp, we've got a blodger here, it's going to be decent offense. Not going to line up against Hackflem. So this team here going to be able to go toe-to-toe against Snotlings and the trolls probably without a problem. But being able to keep up with Hackflem is going to be the challenge here. So watch out for that. Royce the Pomp, probably the blitzers are going to have to work in concert. That guard might give a bit of an edge to get as many blocks as possible and see if they can take out the star player himself. And next up we've got the Tootwald Tiny Titans. So this team also sitting at 2 draws and a loss, which for a stunty team is not too bad at all. So we've got 2 trolls on this team, Paul and Barry the Chuckham brothers. Paul's sitting at 2 SPP here, Barry is sitting at none because he's already brought Brawler. So watch out for Barry to be making the primary blocks on this team. It does add a little bit extra efficiency. Most of the time you turn those 2 die blocks or 3 die blocks into kind of 2.5, 3.5 die blocks because you get to re-roll 1 both down per block attempt. So that's going to be pretty big. Also backed up by Triple T, the terrible tiny train, the pump wagon for this roster. We've got 2 fun hoppers, Up and Atom. We've got Leroy Jenkins, the 2 stilty runners. We've got Hale and Mary 2, the 2 bombardiers, so the fungus flingers. And we've got 2 Snotlings who are kind of doing important stuff. We've got Trumpets, who took a random general skill and ended up with Shadowing. I don't know how much that's going to come up this game. Shadowing might be the worst possible skill for a Movement 5 Strength 1 player, but you never know. Fingers crossed it might come into play. The other angle we've got here is that Catapult 2, one of the generic Snotlings, is sitting at 1 touchdown. So if that player scores another TD, we could see some more level ups. So this roster, 4 rerolls, 5 dedicated fans. Coming in at TV 755 here, gives 395k in petty cash. That's going to be Hackflem, 100k for riotous rookies, and 2 bribes, which takes it to 380,000. So what that's going to give us is the bribes to bring on the fungus flingers again, to bring the pump wagon on again if we need to, but more importantly to that, it gives us the numbers with riotous rookies, which is huge for this team because swarming can just allow you to just be everywhere at once. And probably, you know, the key piece there is that we can bring on a movement 9, strength 3, edge 1+ piece in Hackflem. So if the Snotlings can gum up the ground, make the opportunities, Hackflem should be able to swoop through here and capitalize. At least that's what my plan is. Okay, so we've looked at the rosters. Let's talk coaches. This is Ben and this is other Ben. So we're joined again by Blood Type. This time, he ran the Snotlings last time. This time I'm going to be running the Snotlings and he is going to be running Nobility. Ben is running Nobility and League right now, and I love running Snotlings. In fact, the way the roster's looking is very similar to the tournament build that I took to Sand Bowl and went 1, 2 and 1 with. So it's a very did I do 1, 2 and 1? I went 2 on 1 actually. Anyway, it's a very competent roster. And we've got 2 coaches running 2 of their favourite teams here. And let's face it, Ben and I both know quite a lot about Blood Bowl. So I feel like this is starting to really take shape. And all the games we've got lined up, we're kind of getting the specialists with the teams lined up with who they like playing. So as we look at the roster, I think we broke it down already. Nobility are going to have the strength across all the lines, Snotlings. I have got some very brilliant agile, potential in Hackflem there, but when you've got Snotlings, it can be very difficult to protect him. And the difficult thing with a Snotling team is you've got 2 trolls, that's great. You've got a pump wagon, that's great. But the best blitzer that you have is potentially Hackflem as well. So it becomes a bit of a one-trick pony kind of thing. And Ben, with a bench and 3 wrestlers, 2 blockers and an ogre, has got 50% of his team has got combat ability. So it's gonna be a close one. If I can sneak through and pull off some stunty shenanigans, get some good bombs in there, maybe get some removal, take a cheeky foul every now and again using just my numbers, I could pull this off with a bit of luck from Hackflem. All Ben has to do, I think, is grind out, make a load of opportunistic blocks on my players as much as possible and shoot for Hackflem. Hackflem's gone, I am in trouble, I think. So I'm liking the look of this one. I think it's going to be a really fun match. Anyway, let's talk about the most exciting element here, which is our viewer championship. So every week we put a preview video out, which is this, hello, and in it we break down the teams like we've done, so that we can give you guys the best opportunity to make your predictions for the matches. And this has been so much fun as the league has gone on. So basically what we want you to do is in this video break down who you think is going to win, or if it's going to be a draw, and what you think the score is going to be. So which team's scoring what amount of touchdowns. We'll give you 1 point if you get the outcome right, and 1 point for every team's score you get correctly. So if you say the Snotlings are going to win 7-0, and you know what, the Snotlings win, you get a point. They score 5 touchdowns, you don't get any points. But if the other team scores 0, you get 2 points. So you can win 0, 1, 2 or 3 points here. Now this is round 4, game 2. So what's this, game 11 now in this match, which means we've got another 4 in the standard sort of league, and then 3 more finals. So six more Blood Bowl games to go. So plenty of Blood Bowl to go. 7 games left to go. So 21 points to go. Our first place players are sitting at 14 points at the moment, so there is plenty of time to swoop in there, and our leaders at the end of the season are going to win some wicked prizes. So get your guesses in, and we'd like you to do that by 9 AM UK on Saturday. The reason for that is we try very hard to put the Patreon version of this game out for them on the Saturday. So if you are one of our patrons, you'll get the game Saturday. Otherwise it goes live on Sunday. So we don't want people to be guessing after it's gone live in the Patreon, because it might give them a significantly unfair advantage, which seems very Blood Bowl, but not potentially the fairest. Anyway, get your guesses in below. Let's have a look at the top scorers so far. It is a close pack at the moment. First place, we've got 14 points. Marco, Nyosi, Papa Z, Sam O'Dwyer, and 1,000 hats. Second place at 12 points, we've got Nicholas Fitzgerald, Waller, Carl Messenger, Logan Lay, X, Black Flag X, Gecko 8, and Zephyr Baby. Third place at 11 points, so just behind, we've got Liminality, James Fawkes, Richard Stone, Michael Bull, David Warner, Blood Bowl Commissioner, Chris John, Paul Thompson, Olabayo, Dish Dash, Austin Faulkner, and Matilda Slunkskin. So there is a very close leaderboard there. And you know what? You swoop in and guess 4 games right, you're right there in second place. So there's 7 games left to go. 8 games left to go, including this one. So there's plenty of Blood Bowl for you to get in there. That's 24 points. You can come in, you can swoop in, and you can jump straight into our top place on the leaderboard. We'll put the full leaderboard at the end of this video. So if you can't quite see yourself being in 3rd place right now, you're probably on the board. Just stay put and watch out. Okay, we've talked through the teams, we've talked through the coach, we've talked through the matchup, and we've done the viewer championship. All that's left to do now is hang on and watch the game this weekend. So get your guesses in. We've got tier 2 Nobility, run by Bloodtithe Ben. We've got tier 3 Snotlings with Hackflem, run by me. I think this is a very close matchup. Nobility can pound the heck out of the Snotlings. It's just whether or not I can get lucky enough and survive long enough to pull off the win. Anyway, please let me know what you think is going to happen in the game in the comments below. I am very intrigued by this one. I think in the last round, 0 people got the exact outcome, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. That was a bit of an upset. And I think 1 in 7 people guessed the right team was going to win. So it's been really fun to look at the predictions. However, I am going to disappear. Don't forget to put your guess in the comments below. And we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content, we get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.